We are talking high school football tonight here on the Sports Wrap, and nobody does it better than Andy Hilton with Recruit 757. Andy, the Beach District grabbed a lot of headlines last year with the recruitment of Trey Nicholson and LaFonte Thurgood, the surprise of Salem upsetting Ocean Lakes in the playoffs, and Bayside's playoff run in the playoffs. What is the story of the Beach District this year?
We're probably going to see a lot of the same. Salem should be a strong contender, Ocean Lakes will be a strong contender, and Bayside has to be the favorite to repeat in the Beach District this year. It's very likely we'll see all three teams at the top of the beach, but we'll also see Lansdowne in the mix. We may even see Cox in the mix. Bayside has Anthony Cooper, who's already committed to UVA. Ocean Lakes has Eli Harold, who's already committed to UVA. And Salem has a bunch of young guys that are really strong, featuring Bucky Hodges as quarterback, who's recruited by some of the top, who's been recruited by some of the top programs in the country.
Okay, how about we jump over to the Peninsula District? You've seen Phoebus and Hampton at the top for the longest time. Woodside's been good. Will anything be different this year? I was out at Phoebus the other day. They're loaded. They're loaded,
and they've got a lot of young players. They lost a lot of players last year, but they're loaded every year. They have a great program with a great coach in Stan Sexton. The big story with Phoebus is that they have gone 45-0 over the last 3 years. They've won back-to-back state championships, 3 years in a row, undefeated. Hampton really wants to be that state champion and has the caliber of team to do it, but they've got to go to Phoebus to get there, and they haven't been able to do that the last few years. Hampton had a quarterback coming in as a transfer from Richmond who unfortunately injured his hand and will miss half the season. So now Hampton's going to be relying on wide receiver Jamal Brown to play quarterback for at least the first half of the season.
And that has Phoebus really worried because he is a slashing runner, throwing type. That has Phoebus a little worried.
It sure does. In fact, Jamal Brown may be a better fit for the Hampton system than this quarterback who's transferred in. Now, we will find out, because those two play late in the season. They play actually in the last week of the season. That game, Hampton coach Mike Smith will have his choice, perhaps, by that point in the season. Woodside, you mentioned, is also a contender. They're solid, but they're a Division VI team. They're going to end up playing the Baysides, the Oscar Smiths, to get to a state championship type game.
But once again, it's Phoebus looking for 4 straight. Do you think they can get a 4th straight state championship?
They can do it. I mean, you can't pick against them with that kind of record.
Okay, private school football has really improved in some of the programs here in towns lately. We've got some really strong teams with some strong players. Who is the best of the private schools?
Well, you have to give it to Norfolk Christian. They won the Division III state championship last year. They have 4, count them, 4 BCS commitments, 3 of them to UVA, 1 to Virginia Tech, until the Virginia Tech commit flipped to UVA.
We understand.
But you've got Mario Nixon, who committed to UVA recently, added to Courtney Wynn, Kwani Moore, Will Wahi. When you've got 4 BCS level commits on a team already, that's a pretty good sign they've got a good team.
Okay, so we've touched on those districts. Next time we get together, we're going to talk about the Southeastern, the Eastern District, and some other teams out west. We've got a lot to talk about. He is Andy Hilton with Recruit 757, and we'll be right back.